What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in on the franchiseok.com. I am Brady Trantham. With me is John Hoover, and we are obviously standing right inside Memorial Stadium, where we just got out of Lincoln Riley's opening presser for Week 1 against Florida Atlantic. Some interesting things were said today. Obviously, a lot of questions concerning the depth chart. I mean, it was kind of funny. The depth chart page on the media booklet that they handed us just said almost with an ellipsis after it, so they're kind of trolling us, but they did say that they'll be able to release the depth chart in a few days, hopefully sometime this week. But mainly it's just been all the questions concerning our with the center position, with the linebacking position when at the will spot, and what freshmen are going to play, and Lincoln kind of spoke to that, but mainly center, will position, and freshmen.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that, when you see almost on the depth chart, your first reaction is, okay, that, like you said, they're trolling us. But I get the feeling, too, that Lincoln Riley is a bit of a perfectionist and that he wants to be right. He doesn't want to put information out there on Monday if he's not 100% sure about it. He wants so come Saturday, we hold him down in the press conference and say, hey, you said you were going to start Curtis Bolton at linebacker. Well, Caleb Kelly starts. So I think his perfectionist nature kind of shows through on this, and I don't hold it against him. We would like to see a depth chart, but like he said, if Saturday comes around and it's wrong, then what good is that depth chart on Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, then we're going to penalize them as media. Mainly the spots that we were talking about, like I said, the will spot, Caleb Kelly, Curtis Bolton are going to, I guess if the depth chart was released today, that would be one of the or positions where one of the, not necessarily who cares who's going to start, they're both going to get playing time. I kind of, when he was saying that, I kind of think, and this is just me spitballing here, but I kind of think, is this just to kind of motivate Caleb Kelly? Because he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. He's the 5-star recruit from a few years ago. He's shown flashes, especially going back 2 years ago as a freshman at the Sugar Bowl against Auburn. But I kind of think this is just a motivational thing for him.
I got the same sense that the job belongs to him. They're trying to maybe get the most out of him. He's a spectacular player, 5-star kid. The plays he made in the Sugar Bowl were unbelievable. Really kind of set the bar as to what they expect from him. And maybe last year he didn't reach that bar. So this might be, like you said, a tactic to motivate him into being better.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, obviously last week everybody got their wish, and we all heard the starting quarterback being Kyler Murray. But now the only thing kind of left to question is the center's position, which is still, according to Lincoln Riley, very much a competition between Jonathan Alvarez, veteran player, and Creed Humphrey. I'm still frankly kind of surprised that it hasn't been made, because I kind of had the prevailing thought all along with a lot of other people that if Kyler Murray was going to be the starter, they would go with the young guy in Creed Humphrey.
Not if Jonathan Alvarez is a better overall player, though. That's the thing. Alvarez has the experience. Creed Humphrey has the frame and the athletic ability. Good thing from Lincoln Riley 2 weeks ago told us they're both working on their weaknesses. In other words, Alvarez has really shaped up his body and transformed his body, more athletic now than he has been in his career, whereas Creed Humphrey is really hitting the books, really on the playbook, and really getting his mind right as to what all the calls are, what all the assignments are. So it's encouraging. It's like there's no wrong answer. And honestly, when he makes the determination and we do get the depth chart, I think it'll change. I think it'll not necessarily change, but it'll be fluid throughout the season.
Yeah, and he kind of mentioned that a few weeks ago at the post-practice availability, where this could be a situation where you could see kind of not necessarily a rotation of Alvarez or Humphrey, but depending on levels of play, you might see one guy start 1 week. It's just really going to depend upon the chemistry between center and quarterback when it concerns that. But moving on to freshman impact players, Riley kind of laughed along with us and fans, saying that fans are going to have to pretty much on Saturday, that's when you're going to find out which freshmen are going to play. But he did specifically say, like everyone has known, that Buki Radley-Hiles will be starting at the nickel position.
Buki Radley-Hiles starting at the nickel position, and they will move him around as needed, whether it's corner, whether it's safety, whether it's strong safety or something else. I like the idea that he's not going to tell us, that there is a bit of strategy in this new redshirt rule, that he's not going to tell us or anybody else which freshmen are playing, which are not. And that's something too, you don't want to show your cards too early to a freshman. He doesn't get to play early. All of a sudden he gets disgruntled or disillusioned, disenchanted. Next thing you know, he's down in the dumps. So you're trying to keep these guys engaged constantly.
Yeah, and time after time, going back even to spring when Buki arrived at OU, we've heard how mature the guy is, how cerebral the guy is. And it's still kind of fascinating to me. Like, we talked to Kenneth Murray today to open up the presser, and he's obviously the leader of the defense at the Mike position, played last year, role, but it's just been Buki all offseason. And considering how much, I don't want to say stress they're putting on him, it's really interesting that a freshman has taken that spot without even playing it down. But like we said, Lincoln Riley did announce that he was going to start the nickel position heading into FAU, and that's where we'll kind of segue into now with Florida Atlantic on Saturday. And Lincoln Riley was very complimentary of both Florida Atlantic and Lane Kiffin, who he's really not had that much of a relationship with. They've been in contact because of the Chris Robinson transfer last year, I can't remember, last year. And it's certainly a game that, probably a few years ago you're not going to be excited for if you're an OU fan, but now with Lane Kiffin and what they were able to accomplish last year, it's certainly one of the more marquee games of the season to open up the year.
I think it'll be a fun non-conference game. 11 a.m. Fox Sports 1. Is that right? Right out here. I get so excited on these Mondays because we're standing up here and we're looking out over the stadium. Bob Stoops told me one time, he said, you got to pace yourself. You got to pace yourself. Can't get too excited too early.
Exactly, and I guess that's what we're just going to leave it there. Like we said, Florida Atlantic this Saturday, 11 a.m. Fox Sports. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt on the call, I believe. They'll obviously be in Stillwater on Thursday night when the Cowboys take on Missouri State. But for Mr. John Hoover, I'm Brady Trantham. Everybody, thank you for tuning in on thefranchiseok.com. John's going to be putting out some great content over the next week and in the coming weeks as the season rolls along. Tune in on 107.7 The Franchise, 107.9 in Tulsa for all of our shows, franchise players, Hoover's show. We got great content. We're all excited that football's finally here. We'll have basketball in a few months, or a month as well. So we're all excited, but thank you again for watching.